Before billionaires dominated the world of business, one man built a fortune so massive that even today it remains almost impossible to match. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and at one point he controlled nearly the entire oil industry in the United States. But how did a quiet and disciplined man become the richest person in modern history? This is the story of power, ambition, and one of the greatest business empires ever built. John Davison Rockefeller was born in 1839 in New York. His childhood was far from luxurious. His father was a traveling salesman with a reputation for questionable business practices, while his mother was deeply religious and extremely disciplined. From an early age, Rockefeller showed an unusual obsession with numbers and money. At just 16 years old, he got his first job as a bookkeeping assistant, carefully tracking every dollar that came in and out of the business. That attention to detail would later become one of the keys to his success. In the 1860s, a new industry was beginning to explode: oil. Oil was quickly becoming the most valuable resource in the United States because it was used to produce kerosene, the primary fuel for lamps before electricity. Rockefeller saw an opportunity. Instead of drilling for oil, which was a risky gamble, he focused on refining it, turning crude oil into usable products. In 1870, he founded the company that would change everything, Standard Oil. Rockefeller had a strategy that was both brilliant and ruthless. He bought out his competitors, often giving them an offer they couldn't refuse, sell to him or be driven out of business. He negotiated secret deals with railroads to transport his oil cheaper than anyone else, putting his rivals at a huge disadvantage, and he constantly improved efficiency inside his refineries, cutting costs to the bone. Within just a few years, Standard Oil controlled nearly 90% of the oil refining business in the United States. It was one of the most powerful monopolies in history. Rockefeller had effectively taken control of an entire industry, but such immense power did not come without criticism. Many people believed Rockefeller's business tactics were unfair and dangerous. Journalists began investigating Standard Oil, exposing how the company crushed competitors and dominated the market with an iron fist. Eventually, the U.S. government stepped in 1911, after a long legal battle. The Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered it to be broken into multiple smaller companies like Exxon, Mobil, and Chevron. Ironically, this decision made Rockefeller even richer. The shares he owned in these new independent companies skyrocketed in value. By the early 1900s, Rockefeller's wealth was staggering. When adjusted for inflation, historians estimate his fortune would be worth over $300 billion today. That would make him richer than almost any billionaire alive right now. But as he grew older, Rockefeller did something unexpected with his immense wealth. Later in life, he dedicated the majority of his fortune to charity. He donated hundreds of millions of dollars to education, science, and medicine. He helped fund universities, medical research, and public health programs around the world. His Rockefeller Foundation played a major role in fighting diseases like hookworm and yellow fever, and advancing scientific research that continues to benefit us today. John D. Rockefeller died in 1937 at the age of 97. His legacy remains complex. Some see him as a ruthless monopolist who built his empire by crushing the competition. Others see him as a visionary entrepreneur who transformed modern industry and a pioneering philanthropist. But one thing is certain: he built one of the greatest fortunes the world has ever seen. John D. Rockefeller was not just the richest man of his time. He was the man who defined what modern wealth and corporate power could become. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more.